Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're looking at the Sexy Brutale. So I recently finished a game called Zero Escape Zero Time Dilemma, which was the third in a series that was centered around a lot of murder and time travel. So a great comparison would be to play the Sexy Brutale, which revolves around murder and time travel. This is a 2017 game though that is going to do it in a very different way with a very different art style, but also much more of a gameplay mechanic to it than Zero Time Dilemma had, where at the back half of Zero Time Dilemma it turned very much into just a non-interactive movie for the most part, in which it was simply cutscenes for hours and hours. That's, I think, as much setup as I really need to do. I can say the music's a little bit loud by default. Even at that, it sounds a little loud having it at 2. It was at 5 by default. Suppose we could click here and see if there's any video settings. It's all fairly basic. It does have controller support, which, yeah, that's pretty much, I think, all we need to really deal with, so we can just jump into the game. So let's do that. It'll obviously tutorialize us, hopefully, and set ourselves up. This is interesting in that you have 5 save game slots, which seems a little excessive, but then you also have a lot of indicators of things you're potentially looking for in the game. 9 letters, 52 what look like movie tickets, and at the bottom there, no less than 7 different characters that I imagine we are going to try and prevent their deaths, which is sort of different from what Zero Time Dilemma had, because at a certain point you just wanted to get to the ending, whether the ending involved a death of a character or not. You just wanted to get to the narrative ending. You didn't particularly care. That's an interesting extra sound effect. Also, when the game saves, it just pops up a thing on the side, which is just a quill writing in a book. We definitely have gotten to this point, even in 2017 when this game came out, where the games just really don't need to explain that it's saving a save file anymore. It is just assumed that if you see any logo in the right corner, anywhere past the bottom half of the screen, you assume that that's just a save icon. And we assume anything that should be loading is a loading icon, so the roulette table there is a loading icon. The Marquis is an enigmatic owner and creator of the Sexy Brutale Casino Mansion. Every year he throws an extravagant masked ball for a select party of guests. His impeccably trained staff cater to their every desires, but this year something is terribly, terribly wrong. The quests aren't getting what they want, but you can find that out for yourself. Lafcadio boon. After all, you have all the time in the world. Lafcadio boon. And it wasn't the quest are getting exactly what they want. It was the guests aren't getting exactly what they want. So you have an isometric view here. I imagine it's trying to get me to press a button. Time to move on, old man. And now we have this creepy, rainy effect with a creepy red-haired cloak character. And so she touches you, and some kind of fire goes into you. Never take your mask off. I will give you a chance, just a chance. You are not weak. So very surreal to start off with, and I will help you. But he is so strong. So then it just turns into a pool of blood, it looks like. So you can move, and your first mission is to get up. Alright. So all the characters are masked, and I assume that's just because in this animation style, they don't want you to they don't want to have to actually animate the faces of characters. And more I see games like this where the characters are just really zoomed out, and undoubtedly we're gonna have to turn down this sound effects. That is way too loud. There's the save thing. That's much more reasonable. Echoing throughout the halls. When you look at the corners of this isometric view, it all being black doesn't really work. Maybe in the final game it will start to make some work, or make some sense to work, because you might start to see other rooms. Nope. Look through the keyhole, pressing the X button to spy. Yeah, you would think that you could see the room you just came from that way, but maybe only if you spy. It must be... What was that? Calm down, Reggie. They won't look for you here. So we can look around a little bit with the left stick. Go through the door. Alright, well, let's get that back up to 4. As annoying as the sounds of footsteps are, I think they're going to play a bigger role than you normally would expect. Let's see. Right trigger to listen. So we kind of don't know what's going on, but it looked like we had been knocked down or dead. Right trigger. There we go. And so you can see, well, you don't have a map. Follow them through the door. Seems like you maybe can only peek through some of the areas. This is going to get really annoying very fast, though. And so he's... Wait, where is it? This is just garbage. Who locks garbage in a safe? Look through this keyhole now. Lucas, what have you done? It goes back to the center if you let go of the left stick. What? No, you can't. Please. You don't know what's going to happen. Now, there, I must correct you, sir. You know exactly what's going to happen. And so he just gets shot by a person we cannot see. What will happen is that I'm going to shoot you messily in the chest, and then I have a... I don't remember, I didn't get to read all of that. Now we're waking up in a different room. He is coming, hide. So we hide away. And so we have a 2 of diamonds character. Let's have a look. And he's grabbing the shotgun off the counter, off the wall. It is still loaded. Let's see if this works. I guess there will always be plan B. So, we need to figure out a way to stop the person from being murdered. Although it seems like there's going to be a lot of card characters. I'm terribly sorry, sir. What? No, you can't. Please. You don't know what's going to happen. Ah, now there, I must correct you, sir. I know exactly what is going to happen. So we saw the same guy get shot twice. He'll shoot you messily in the chest, and then have a bastard of a time getting the stain out of the artwork. We can see the flame is burning in our face. And so if we're in the same room as somebody, we start to get the glowing and get chased. So you can basically never be in the same room with one of the bad guys. Be calm. You are not seen. He is not chasing you. Look back through the door. Where the hell is 7 clubs? So that he can bloody well come and help me with the body. I'm not lifting it on my own. He did not see you. Sure seemed like he saw me. He will not chase you. No one in this mansion will. Interesting. So you can't be in the same room, but you also can't be seen, apparently. That was my gift when I touched your mask. I will protect you, but only for a short time. The staff are murderers here. The guests are victims. And all the staff are based on card names. But they are all controlled, dominated by the mask they wear. I have one more gift for you. This pocket watch is important. So we have a broken pocket watch. Check inventory for details. I took it from the man you saw murdered. If you can return to 6pence, you will be able to unlock its... If you can return it to 6pence, you will be able to unlock its full potential. But first you have to save him. I have to go. He will find me if I stay. So obviously there's a big bad guy we're going to have to fight at the end of the game. It is a very weird, creepy art style, but it's a creepy story that we're also playing. Notably, though, we're 12 minutes into this game, whereas compared to any of the Zero Time Dilemma games, or the Nonary game trilogy as it's really called, 12 minutes in, we barely would have made any progress at all, let alone really learned anything. Where this game is much more of a lit concept where it's going to throw everything at you at the front so you get the general idea, and then the challenges will get harder and harder for each person we have to save. Use the pocket watch to restart the day from 12 p.m. So I assume then for each person we're supposed to save there's going to be one day, or maybe there will be multiple people we have to save in one day. The pocket watch is partially smashed and resets at 5 p.m. If you can find some way or someone to repair it, you'll gain more control over time. And it's fairly worth mentioning also in Zero Time Dilemma, there was no magical device that let them control time. It was just more of a magical ability to jump between different timelines. And I don't think timelines are really going to play a role in this game. It is just going to be, there's one timeline that you're rewinding over and over again to get the good outcome you want. Here you will see the current guests or guest you are trying to save. And we get an achievement just for getting that far. Interesting, I just hit A and I really feel like I should have spent more time in the menu there. So immediately I'm going to want to pop back into the menu. Saturday. The chapel. Alright, so yeah. Reginald 6pence. Obviously we're going to have some mask powers to upgrade. Obviously there are 52 cards, so I guess those are not movie tickets, but cards that would represent the bad guys we fight. There's enough room for 6 items and 3 key items. There is a map that's fairly big that I imagine might be different for different days. We've got some tutorials and some more stuff, so we kind of know generally what's going to unlock. And there's some secrets, and your options are pretty much at this point. Let's turn the music up a little bit. Marquee invites you to tonight's show, 7 p.m. in the theater. Alright. As you explore the Sexy Brutale, your map will be built up with rooms you have discovered. The movement of characters you have seen will be added to the map. You can adjust the time to show on the map using the time scrubber. Alright. It'll record important information and events. So, I think if we go this way, and then go here, and then take this, we need to probably spy here. My words, this room is ominous. Ahaha. Grayson was a Europer, but you better have known. It's a bingo. So you can't... Wait, where is it? This is just garbage. It locks up garbage in a safe. So you can't be in the room with anybody else. We now have a blank cartridge. There is so in the wall. You can hear a heartbeat. Which we have to run out of that room. Alright. We need to hit Y. And we walk fast enough. So there's a decent amount of stuff here. And we can't go past that door yet. So, meanwhile, we kind of know that the blank cartridge is the thing we need to deal with. So the guy just got shot. So what I'm trying to do here is just fill out the map on this first run. And what was that? As far as a shattering sound effect. See, I think the game wants me to rewind, but do I have to rewind? Yeah, I just don't think this is going to be a case where Well, I guess the game is just going to straight up force me to rewind and take out that item. Alright, so we have, I think, the entirety of this section already investigated and looked at. So it really is just a matter now of watching this or rushing through this. Like, I don't know if I really have the combination to the lock. Let's see, what was the right trigger? We can listen for that. I don't think I'll be bothering to read out loud a lot of this, so if you want to get every single line of dialogue, you're going to have to read it yourself. One assumes that the pocket watch would have been in this safe originally. And then we just wait for the mask to go away. And then we just hit Y. Blank cartridge slays in, the blank will be the next shot. Okay. And so we just get a cutscene. But what stops the two of diamonds from just shooting again or trying to get a different bullet? What the hell? What is wrong with this blasted thing? A blank for... There better be a second round in here. Otherwise it'll be plan B for you, I'm afraid. Ah, I got it. Here we go. You coward. Ah, golden duck, cracking job. So his body just dissolves when he gets his helmet hit or when he gets knocked down. This feels very different. Why am I wearing this mask still? And so, something about the masks obviously also. Ah, so much better. The whole facility seems to have changed. Good lord, Lefacadio, hello. So apparently, if the other person isn't wearing a mask, you can enter the room with the person, but you can't take off your mask. Where are we? Do you know? And wait, is that my pocket watch? I have the strangest feeling I've been looking all over for this. You've done quite the number on it. There, that should see your right, all fixed. So now we have a fixed pocket watch. Now I think we should get back to the party. Use this pocket watch on any ticking clock. This will save your game and set the clock as your starting point for each day. With the watch repaired, a full day is now open to you. So obviously we're going to set different checkpoints at ticking watches throughout the area. This does feel like a game that could do better with voice acting. Ah, someone's been having a sly tipple on the job. Good show, sleep it off, that man. So we get another achievement. So, Yeah, feels like it's going to be a fairly short run game at this rate, but I imagine it'll get more complicated and potentially be compounded at a point where we have to go back in time and save multiple people multiple times. This weird blood lady says take his mask. You will need its power. It's kind of funny to wear a mask and then be immediately recognized. So now we have Reginald's clock mastery. With sixpence's mask, you can create a bond with the clocks around the house. Use any active clock in the mansion to jump to 4 p.m. or 8 p.m. You saved Reginald's life. He was the personal clockmaker to the owner of this mansion, the Marquis. Well, he was more than that, but the important thing is that the clocks in the mansion are tuned to him. Now you have his mask, his power. They will respond to you. You have to go quickly. Even now the mansion is straining to undo what you have done, but you can fight back, saving one life at a time. This day will start again. I pray that sixpence's power will free you from these rooms. If you're lost, come find me in the casino. I will look for you by the clock. There are many more quests here, many more guests here. Definitely looks like a queue. We need your help. See, I guess the question comes down to, is the Two of Diamonds eliminated as a character? So he isn't going to be the character trying to kill sixpence. There's the Two of Diamonds. Marquis invites you to tonight's show, 7 p.m. in the theater. You know, it's days like these where I wish I was less competitive, then maybe I wouldn't get the tricky jobs. And that's the beginning of the game. The Sexy Brutale. Right. So, we can find the casino. We can pull this and see what that does. Which it seems like nothing. We can try to look through here. And here's a card. 9 of clubs. While we can look through this, we can't walk through that. And this isn't anything. What does this work as far as the map? Well, it shows that we are potentially on a completely different day, or potentially in just a completely different location. Where the door to the mansion should be, there is only seamless smooth marble. Interesting. That's probably the casino. I hope Willow is okay. But all this talk about voodoo, this and creepy spirits whispering to my room at night, this ain't right. Well, best to get to the practice room. So, like, if you were to go in here, it does seem like you can just be in the same room as her. Stained glass filters the light through the outside. It's a pretty big room to not have that much going on. What's funny is it also seems like there is a decent amount of weirdness in how these rooms turn around. See, there's all these kinds of different spinners that must play some role. And we didn't even get to the murder, as it were, to know what we're trying to save. But there's clearly a glass breaking thing. But if I don't run around and collect these collectibles, I wonder if I have to collect them multiple times. Yeah, almost certainly something very cold and solid is blocking my way here. Yeah, almost certainly it's going to turn into a situation where we'll get an ability at some point in the future to hold items through different timelines, different runs. Boom, oh thank God. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if you would be able to leave the chapel, but you can. Well, we have a chance. This is the casino, the front and center of the Sexy Brutale. The guests here are Trinity and Clay. There are more, but you cannot reach them yet. You have time to watch and learn. You must save them both together. You saved Reginald and his mask gave you the power over his clocks. They have all stopped, but if you can wind them, they will be very useful to you. I found the key for this area. This is all I can do for now. So now we have a winding key. Stop clocks in the mansion need a specific key to be wound up. Use a matching key on the clock to wind up the clock. Winding a clock reveals the map for the area and allows you to make that clock your starting point each day. Alright, use the winding key. I will find you when I can, Boone. Save Clay, save Trinity. And so we have a different kind of animation here. Clay, Rockridge, the brutal in suit. I didn't read the bottom part fast enough. So you can see that picture is combined. So we need to find a CCT camera code. Okay. So let's use the winding key. And that burns the winding key. Ladies and gentlemen, the show will start in an hour. Okay. So the question, I guess, is will we lose these cards if we rewound time? Or can you get that later? Can you go back at some point? So far I've not found any secrets, which is not super surprising. And the bar is some backstory dialogues. There is actually kind of a surprising amount of reading in this game, as tends to happen in smaller games where they try to expand out their length. Seems like we have a general depiction also of what this whole world is going to be, as far as just an outline. There's a lot more rooms to look at, and noticeably there's one room that's not on the map that we couldn't go into. And yeah, some other rooms that we couldn't go to. I wouldn't be surprised if we are retroactively going back in time, and so saving these two is happening chronologically before we saved Reginald, and that's why the character might be the way he is. There might be back. The Nine of Diamonds might be back, or that might just be a different bad guy. First floor definitely indicates that there's a second floor that we'll also involve ourselves with, although it's not really being shown. And I guess technically that first floor that we saw here may just have been the overpass in that room. Alright, well, this puts us in a decent position to have, I think, 30-minute episodes. It is a little weird, I would say, audio-wise, to have so much dialogue and none of it voiced. Like, I'd prefer it to be voiced, obviously. But then to make up for that by having a lot of sound effects that are going to be so uniquely important that they need to be louder than they normally should be, and they're also going to stand out as being about the only sound effects you hear in the game, because there won't be any generic sound effects of just sounds of rain or wind or an occasional howl of a dog or something like that. Like, if you hear any of that, it's going to be important. So then that creates a situation where there is no voice acting sound. Sound effects are oddly sparse, which leads the game into really having to sit on the music. So we're going to have to hope that the music is pretty good, and that might explain why the music is fairly loud. But yeah, looks like we'll do 30-minute to 40-minute episodes. That's probably a good point to end this, although very possibly by the time we get to the end of the game we're doing puzzles that are an hour or 2 hours long. I wouldn't be surprised though if this entire game is less than 15 hours in total. That's going to be it for this recording though. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos, because that helps me with YouTube. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. On my YouTube page, there's also a playlist tab that has playlists for every game I've ever covered, so if you're interested in spending a decent amount of time watching me play Zero Time Dilemma, that playlist is available. And then if you want to support me even further than all of that, there's a link down in the description to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.